Hi, my name is Justice Borden, and this is my Health and Safety for Young Children books and activities. So, my first book is Not Everyone is Safe by Frederick Alamonte and Anne Tedesco. So, this book is perfect for describing a situation where Kathy is approached by a stranger in a blue car when she's waiting for her mom or her dad to pick her up from school. And the man tries to entice Kathy to get into his car, and Kathy realizes that it's a stranger and it's not safe. So one of the activities I would incorporate into my kindergarten classroom would be that students bring different pictures like of their mom, their dad, whoever might pick them up, and then I would print out some of my family as well, and then some staff pictures, and I would show each student from the class a set of pictures, and they would have to identify whether or not that person is safe to pick them up from school or not. And then this can help them identify people who they can trust, as well as who is able to pick them up. So the objective is students will be able to identify family members who are safe to pick them up. Students will be able to identify stranger danger. And then my standards are at the bottom. My next book is No Means No by Janine Sanders. I've absolutely loved this book. I've used it in a lesson before. And it's basically about this little girl. She has different interactions with her parents, her brother, her grandparents, her aunt, that involve unwanted touching or unwanted behavior. And this can help students feel empowered by seeing her be able to say no to certain situations she's uncomfortable in. And then the activity I want to incorporate would be an everyday activity for students to be able to learn and practice consent. So when they would come into the classroom, I want to have like a greeting card or a greeting poster that students can pick a certain greeting interaction like a hug, high five, knuckles, or wave. And then I also wanted to do like a little spin on it and have a skip option where instead of having to greet me if they didn't feel comfortable, students would be able to skip towards their seat in the classroom. And so the lesson objective would be students will be able to set their own personal boundaries and practice giving consent if they wish. And then those are my standards as well. My first book on health is Going to the Dentist. So, this book has good illustrations about certain um, environments that a dentist's office might look like, and then it also includes different people like the dentist assistant and the dentist, as well as the receptionist who might be working with the child while they're there. It also shows different tools that the dentist might use when students are getting a checkup at the dentist. And then in this case, Jake needs a filling, so it would explain all the steps that go into getting a filling for the student and explain like different instruments that are used, how they're used, so that students like are really comfortable with their first experience. So for this activity, I chose to incorporate students bringing their favorite stuffed animal from home, and then I would get some real dentist tools for students to use, such as like the mirror, the pick that they use, I forgot what it's called, and then as well as like the suction cup and the bib. And then I would have students practice doing a dental checkup on their favorite stuffed animal they had brought, and then they could do whatever the dentist did in the book on their stuffed animal. And then my learning objective for this one is that students will be able to identify effective dental and hygiene practices, as well as identify dentists who can help them at the dentist's office. So this last book for student health would be Gregory the Terrible Eater. So this book is pretty funny. It has like a little role reversal. So the rest of Gregory's family has terrible eating habits, but Gregory actually has good habits, good eating habits, but his parents think he's a terrible eater because they don't eat what he eats or what they eat. So this little role reversal book shows his family eating trash while Gregory picks healthy human food. So it would help students be able to identify what healthy foods that Gregory is eating versus the garbage that his parents are eating. And so after reading the book, I would be able to explain health foods that were mentioned in the book, and then I would have different pictures of trash, junk food, and healthy foods posted on the board. And the healthy foods would be based on Choose My Plate. And then I would have students go put a tally mark on the board underneath the food that Gregory's family would eat. And then also the second time around, it would be students putting a tally mark under their favorite healthy food to eat. And then after this, I would have students explain, after they put their tally mark, I would have students explain why it's their favorite and recall one of the benefits I mentioned previously before the activity started. And then after this activity, students will be able to identify their favorite healthy food and explain one benefit of that food. And that's it. Thank you.